Hey, everybody. Roger Thorpe here, president of Thorpe Benefits. I am joined by Alanna Mcginn, who is speaking to all of our client employees on November 12th at noon about mastering sleep. And we're very excited about that session. This today is just a quick teaser, I guess, of things that people are in store for. And obviously, sleep is a big issue. I know there's a lot of interest in this session. But we figured I would ask you a few things off the top, and we could address those quickly. So, Alan, do you want to just firstly introduce yourself? People know who you are, and then I'll jump right in and ask you the first question.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Very excited to speak to everybody in November. So my name is Alanna Mcginn. I am founder of Goodnight Sleep Site and alannamcginn.com. I am a sleep coach and stress management coach. I work with babies to adults to major organizations and teams to teach proper sleep education and stress management tools.
Great. Okay, so you know what you're doing in this space.
I do.
It's funny, before this we started hitting record, I did ask you how you're sleeping, and you did say you were sleeping well, so that's good. It's a good sign.
I am for the most part, yes.
For the most part, yeah, it depends on the day. All
Yeah.
right, so the first question is sleep as a organizational issue from top to bottom. What are you seeing? Is it showing itself as a concern from the leadership level, or is it more of the frontline employees where this is an issue? So where are you seeing it from a corporate or organizational standpoint?
Well, I'm seeing it across the board, really. Here's the thing. We are a sleep deprived society naturally, and that does flow into companies and corporations. And, companies and corporations that contact me generally will run a survey to their teams,
Hmm.
whether that be through their HR or through the wellness committees. And sleep is always at the forefront of issues that either supervisors or leaders are having or employees and colleagues. So it definitely is an issue. Sleep loss and poor sleep health is definitely an issue across the board for sure. When we look at, our pillars of health, I mainly speak on our four key pillars, which is nutrition, which is exercise, which is connection. I think in the past 5 to 7 years, if we've seen anything, we know how important it is to have that daily connection, quality connection, and then sleep. And we really do have to look at sleep as, in my opinion, the foundation of all the other pillars, because when we're not sleeping well, we're not making great nutritional choices. Our body isn't able to metabolize food as well. We're not able to digest food as well. We tend to crave more carbs, more sugar.
Hmm.
We don't have the energy. Physical activity we know is so important. And all these pillars of health are so important for overall health and well-being. But with physical activity, if we're not sleeping well, we don't have the energy to work out. We don't go to the gym. We don't move our body. We don't get in that 30 minutes of daily physical activity that is so important for overall health. And then we all know what we're like when we haven't had a great night of sleep in terms of connection, right? We're
Yeah.
moody, we're more irritable. We might not be the best employee or leader, to be around in the office that day. So
Hmm.
sleep is very important. Um, Something, in the conversations that I have with companies, we need to see better systems put in place overall. And that does need to start with the leaders and the supervisors. And, proper sleep health education, which is, what we're going to be doing in November, is really
Hmm.
important so that employees and employees of all teams can kind of take that information and take control of their own sleep health and create their own sleep plan, and see how that can apply to their work life as well.
Okay, so as you said, it's a challenge for leaders. It's a challenge for every employee of the company, but it's up and down, and it's showing itself. And I guess that's my next question is, where do you see this so pervasively affecting an organization in terms of productivity, engagement, even sales activity, culture? So, I mean, you're effectively kind of making a business case that we need to do something about this.
Absolutely.
Education is where we're going to start. So, tell me a little bit about those impacts that poor sleep is having on those various, call them departments in effect.
Yeah, I always say proper sleep health could be a game changer for your business plan. And it can really put you ahead of your competition when you have a well-rested and overall healthy team and
Hmm.
organization. There's that appreciation too when they see that their leaders and their supervisors care about certain things that they can do to better their sleep health. There is that increased want in productivity and sales. So yes, of course, when we're engaged, we're seeing a decrease in engagement levels when we have low sleep health, which then affects productivity and sales. 1.5 hours loss of sleep can reduce daytime alertness by 32%. So just giving you that idea, a well-rested team, a team that is able to better their coping skills, manage their stress levels better. We see an increase in productivity. We see an increase in sales. We see a reduction in costs and turnover. We all know how expensive it is to lose an employee due to poor health and then train a new employee and get them up and running. So, we're seeing a decrease in that as well. Also in occupational hazards and workplace injuries. Because we are already a sleep deprived society, we're going into I always say this is the good time change because we're gaining an hour of sleep. But in the springtime change, when we lose that hour of sleep, we're losing an hour of sleep on an already sleep deprived team and
Right.
workplace. And studies after studies show that week after that time change, we're seeing an increase in workplace accidents, in heart attacks, in car accidents. So it affects alertness, it affects memory retention, all of those things that are so important. And then again, coming back to mood and relations, right?
Hmm.
Relationships, how we're able to handle work conflict, other people's personalities in the workplace. I mean, that is something that needs to be managed, and it can be managed a lot easier when we're all getting healthy sleep.
Yeah. Well, I like how you suggested that assessing is a way to really find out the truth because
Yeah.
you can assume that people are not getting enough sleep, but really getting the test results or effectively the survey results of people saying, "Yep, not getting great sleep," and you can say, "Well, it's happening." And then getting the metrics of you could look at sales activity, you could look at certain elements of productivity and see what that does every 6 months. Sleep, I think, is something that people are willing to talk about openly with others. Like it is a health issue, but it's somewhat not as private as other items. And I feel like sleep is a communal thing we can all kind of support one another on, maybe more than others. And for sure, like you said, it's cyclical. Bad sleep leads to bad decisions of this, lack of this, and another round. So if we can fix that, it could have an amazing impact. So lots of good stuff here. You mentioned the time change that's coming up as we record this interview. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. Any quick tips as we finish up for this on what people can do planning around the next time
Yeah,
change?
and absolutely. I always say when there's a change of season and a change, especially a time change, it's a great time to reevaluate your sleep health and reevaluate your sleep environment. So this is a great time to kind of give your night table that audit, right? What are the sleep busters that are going on in your bedroom? So clearing away the clutter, clearing away the work files, maybe clearing away some of the tech that might be keeping you up at night, incorporating a great bedtime routine. I can't wait to talk to your team about my slowdown hour and really incorporating, those three amazing 20-minute increments that is going to give you and create that great bedtime routine for yourself. And then this is the time where do we need to change our bedding? Do we need to remove the summer sheets and get in the warmer sheets? But if you are a hot sleeper, do you still need breathable fabrics, wicking fabrics? So, winterizing that bedroom
Mm-hmm.
that suits your own personal sleep needs. This is a great time of year to do that.
Great idea. Love it. So there's so much more. I'm sure people are excited again to hear see the full session on November 12th. So looking forward to that. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes just to have this quick conversation, and we'll see you on November 12th at 12 o'clock for lots of learning, lots of fun.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward
Thank
to
you.
it.
Okay.